Some mornings, I lose the day before it even begins. That's the thought that runs through me as I sit in my car, parked outside the office. The engine is off, but my heart feels like it's still racing from the sharp buzz of the alarm that tore me out of bed. That sound hasn't left me. It's still lodged in my chest, echoing in my stomach like a siren, reminding me of everything waiting for me inside. I grip the steering wheel. The leather feels cold against my palms. My stomach feels heavier than the breakfast I skipped. I can already sense the weight of unread emails, unfinished tasks, and unexpected fires waiting to flare up. The glass of the windshield is fogged from my own breath, the morning chill pressing against the car. It's like the world outside is telling me, not yet. And maybe I don't want yet to come. I glance at the building door, the way it looms in front of me like a test I haven't studied for. My reflection stares back at me faintly in the fogged-up window. Tired eyes, tense jaw. I can feel dread before the day has even started. Inside my head, the thoughts roll like storm clouds. What if today falls apart like yesterday? What if I can't keep up? What if I walk in already defeated? This is what morning anxiety feels like. The day hasn't happened yet, but somehow I've already lost it. I can trace it back to the alarm. That sharp buzz wasn't just a sound, it was a trigger. A reminder of all the ways I've conditioned myself to wake in fight or flight mode. It's like my body believes that the moment my eyes open, I'm already behind. I reach for the phone, scroll through overnight emails before I even leave the bed. And in those few seconds, the calm of sleep is gone, replaced by dread. So by the time I sit here, in this car, outside this office, it's not just a new day. It's the continuation of yesterday's stress, last week's deadlines, and last year's expectations. A script I keep replaying, even when nothing has happened yet. I close my eyes, pressing my forehead briefly against the steering wheel. The cold surface meets the heat of my skin. My breath fogs the glass more, blurring the outside world until I can't even see the front door anymore. And that's the hardest part. The fact that the day hasn't even begun, and I already feel like I've lost it. Sometimes I sit in the driver's seat, too heavy to even open the door. That's the reality I live more mornings than I'd like to admit. It isn't laziness. It isn't a lack of ambition. It's the way the schedule has already taken shape before I've had a chance to breathe. The root of this dread isn't mysterious. It's the overload I pile onto myself. Back-to-back meetings, client calls, paperwork that doesn't end, and the constant hum of financial stress reminding me that if I slow down, the numbers might not add up. And maybe even more than the workload, it's the lack of a grounding start. I roll out of bed, already rushing, already behind, already bracing for chaos. No pause, no ritual, no moment to claim the day as mine before it claims me. It's almost funny. I can plan a client's mortgage down to the decimal, track every number in their file, forecast repayments for 30 years into the future. But I can't seem to plan 5 minutes for myself at the start of the day. And when I don't, the day consumes me before I even have a chance to stand. The questions I ask myself in these moments sting. Do you wake up already bracing for chaos? The answer, too often, is yes. Do you feel behind before you even start? Yes, again. It's like I wake into a race I didn't sign up for. And the irony? Most of the time, nothing catastrophic has even happened yet. It's just the anticipation. The way my body reacts to the idea of the day. Heart racing, stomach tight, shoulders locked. I think about the cultural layer too. Growing up, mornings were always about duty. My parents were out the door early, often before the sun rose. Work came first. There wasn't space for slow mornings, for rituals, for taking time. So somewhere deep inside me, there's a script that says, mornings aren't for you, they're for the world. But now, sitting in this car as a grown man, I can see how that script leaves me hollow. The fogged-up window beside me becomes a mirror. On one side, it's the literal condensation from my breath in the morning chill. On the other hand, it's a symbol of how unclear everything feels. Like I can't see the day clearly. Like I'm trapped in a box with blurred edges. And I can feel how universal this is. I've spoken with other business owners who confess the same thing. Mornings aren't beginnings for them. They're battles. The war starts the moment they wake. That's the universal theme. Morning anxiety. Not something small, not something rare, but a weight carried by anyone who feels like responsibility wakes them before the sun does. But somewhere in the back of my memory, there's a voice that contradicts the fear. A quote I once dismissed, but can't shake now. Every morning is a fresh page, not yesterday's script. What if that were true? What if this morning didn't have to carry yesterday's weight? What if I didn't have to keep replaying the same script of stress, dread, and defeat before the first task even started? I can almost imagine it, walking in calm, not because the schedule is empty, but because I chose to step in steady. Breathing, not because I earned a pause, but because it's how I begin. But the fear answers back. No, today is already set. The weight's already here. And that's the tension I sit with, staring at the fog on the window, knowing I have a choice to make. Either carry yesterday's chaos into today, or believe, somehow, that the page can be fresh. The vibration started before I was ready. My phone lit up on the passenger seat, buzzing against the leather with a rhythm too sharp for the early morning. The name of my first client of the day flashed across the screen. I froze. My chest tightened instantly, as if the air had been pulled out of the car. My hand hovered over the phone, but I didn't pick it up. My heart raced before I even heard their voice. This is what dread does. It convinces you the storm has already arrived, even before the first drop of rain. The buzzing stopped, then started again, each vibration louder than the last, though I knew the sound hadn't changed. The phone seemed alive, insistent, relentless. Inside, the thought loop ignited. The day will crush me. The day will crush me. I pressed my head against the steering wheel. The cool leather pressed into my skin. My breath fogged the glass even more, until the outside world disappeared completely. Just me, the vibrating phone, and the pounding in my chest. I thought of everything that was waiting. Contracts to chase, deadlines to explain, numbers to defend, expectations I couldn't possibly meet. Each one stacked onto the next, a tower too tall to climb. The day will crush me. I whispered it this time. My lips barely moved, but the words echoed louder than the car alarm I still heard in memory. The overwhelming symbol was clear. That phone, buzzing nonstop, demanding I step into the chaos before I'd even taken one calm breath. I didn't answer. I couldn't. My head was still pressed against the wheel, shoulders curled forward as if bracing for impact. My body had already collapsed under the weight of a day that hadn't yet happened. And in that moment, I felt it, the emotional low. Not because of the call itself, not because of the tasks waiting for me, but because of the dread that filled every corner of me before I'd even lived a single minute of today. I didn't just fear the day, I dreaded every minute ahead of it. Every second already felt lost. And that realization pressed into me harder than the steering wheel against my forehead. I was living mornings as if they were punishments, not beginnings. The silence after the phone stopped was deafening, but it wasn't a relief. It was the emptiness of knowing I had already surrendered the day before it began. I can start the day calm, even if the day is heavy. The words felt impossible at first, but as I sat there, head still against the steering wheel, I let them in. I lifted my head slowly, pressing my palm against the fogged window. My breath had left the glass cloudy, blurred. For a moment, I just sat there, watching the fog. Then I exhaled again, deliberately, watching the condensation gather. And then, just as deliberately, I inhaled slow, steady, deeper than I had all morning. When I exhaled, the fog began to clear. A small patch of glass revealed the world outside, the morning light just starting to shift. The sunrise breaks through the fog, painting faint lines of gold across the street. And in that clearing window, I saw the symbolic moment, the reminder that even heaviness can shift with a single breath. My presence sets the tone, not the pressure. The insight landed in me like a truth I'd been missing all along. For so long, I had let the weight of the schedule decide the story of my mornings. I let the buzzing phone, the sharp alarm, the backlog of tasks write the first page of the day for me. But it didn't have to be that way. If I could choose calm, even once, even for a breath, then the day didn't control me. I set the tone. I pressed my palm against the window once more, watching as each breath cleared more fog, until the world outside wasn't just a blur anymore. It was visible, possible. And in that clearing glass, I felt the truth anchor. I start my day fresh, not trapped by dread. The sunrise cut through the fog. The office building didn't look like a prison anymore. It was still a challenge, still full of weight, but it no longer defined me. Because for the first time that morning, I had chosen calm. And that choice, small as it seemed, was enough to begin again. I start my day fresh, not trapped by dread. That's the line I carry into practice now, and like most truths, it only matters if I live it, not just think it. So I've built a ritual, small, simple, but steady enough to hold me when the morning feels heavy. It begins here, in the car, before I step out, before I let the office doors swallow me whole. I sit for 5 minutes, that's all. Not an hour-long routine, not a list of perfect steps, just 5 minutes, claimed as mine. I place the phone face down on the passenger seat, silenced. For those 5 minutes, the world can wait. I let my hands rest on the wheel, not gripping, just resting. I notice how tense they've been, as if I've been holding on to the whole day before it even arrived. I take one breath, deep enough that I feel my chest rise against the seatbelt, slow enough that I hear the exhale soften the space inside the car. And with that breath, the fog shifts. The window in front of me clears just a little. I breathe again. Each inhale steady. Each exhale clears another patch of glass. I repeat softly, almost like a hum. I set the tone for today. And as I say it, I feel the shift. My heart still beats fast, but not frantic. My shoulders are still heavy, but not braced like armor. My stomach still knots, but loosens just enough for air to move freely. I close my eyes and name 3 things I'm grateful for. Not grand, not abstract, just real, immediate. The sound of my kids laughing at breakfast. The way the sky looked as I left home, streaked with early pink. The fact that I have the chance, again, to step into a new day. The practice is simple, breath and gratitude, but it feels like reclaiming ground I usually surrender. The grounding symbol is the fogged window. Each breath cleared a little more, each exhale reminding me that the day isn't written yet. And the reassurance that echoes in me is this: even one calm breath resets the day. When the timer on my phone buzzes, gentle this time, not sharp like the morning alarm, I know 5 minutes have passed. The schedule still waits. The office still looms. But I'm different now. I've chosen my tone. And that choice carries me as I reach for the door handle, steady, ready to begin. Even in this small pause, I feel the weight shifting. I may not control the day, but I control how I begin it. That's the truth I leave with as I step out of the car. For so long, I believed mornings were beyond me, that the alarm set the tone, that the inbox dictated the mood, that the dread was inevitable. But now I see mornings differently. They aren't punishments, they're invitations. Rest has changed the way I enter the day. A pause, a breath, a choice. They remind me I don't have to carry yesterday into today. I don't have to keep replaying the same tired script. This shift changes everything. At work, it means I walk steadily instead of frantically. Clients feel that. Colleagues sense that. Problems don't shrink, but my presence grows stronger, and that makes all the difference. In my family, it means I show up at breakfast calmer, not rushing out the door, already burned out. My kids feel that. My wife notices. Even if the day becomes heavy later, those first few minutes are ours, untainted by dread. In myself, it means I carry less fear. Morning doesn't feel like an enemy anymore. It feels like a reset, a chance to start fresh, no matter how yesterday ended. Each morning is a reset. That's the mantra I hold on to now. Simple, steady, universal. The closing symbol I picture is this: me stepping out of the car, one steady breath filling me, shoulders not braced but open. The door closes behind me, but I carry calmly forward. And I know the journey doesn't stop here, because if mornings weigh me down, clutter keeps me stuck. That's the weight I'll face next, not just in my calendar, but in my mind, my desk, my home. But tonight, as I reflect, I know this. I don't need the whole day figured out. I just need one steady start. And I wonder, what helps you start your mornings calmer? I may not control the day, but I control how I begin it.